Hello friends, welcome back. In this video, we'll be discussing some more Para Jumble questions that are generally asked for CAT and other management entrance examinations. And the techniques will remain the same. There are no changes in the techniques. Whatever we have discussed in the previous Para Jumble exercises, the same techniques we'll be using. Only thing is we have to understand the context properly, then apply your techniques to arrive at the correct sequence. So the primary skill is your reading comprehension, as I have already emphasized many times before in the videos. If you are finding the questions in RC like the para jumbles, para summaries, critical reasoning questions, etc., that we are discussing in the videos to be tough, it is basically because of your reading skill. So you have to work on your reading comprehension ability by doing a lot of reading and understanding. That will help you in improving your accuracy in the para jumble, para summary, critical reasoning, and RC questions. So the fundamental skill you need to develop, only then you will be able to crack these questions properly. So with that, we will directly go to the questions. So question number 1, read the question properly, understand the context of the passage, then try to arrange the sentences to form a logically coherent paragraph. And here you have to remember that, see, read the question properly, rearrange the sentences between the sentences numbered 1 and 6. So this is very important, so that the entire sequence becomes logical. So 1 and 6 will remain fixed. You only have to focus on A, B, C, D. So 1 and 6 are given for you. So the first and the last sentences, you only have to rearrange the sentences marked A, B, C, and D, so that the entire sequence forms a logical paragraph. This is the question. All right. So the context is very clear. It is talking about the emergence of Hyderabad as a favorite IT destination for all the technology companies and IT-enabled service companies of the world. This is the context, and the introductory sentence is talking about the Hyderabad not living up to the image it had. Means the Hyderabad is having a very efficient administration and is the capital of a state that has a technology friendly chief minister. So laptop toting means a person who is carrying a laptop. So and PowerPoint friendly. So chief minister. So chief minister is carrying he is very friendly, or he has no problems in using laptop, and he is very friendly with PowerPoint. So a chief minister who is technology friendly. So the Hyderabad has a very good administration and has a chief minister who is technology friendly, but for a long time, barring an odd Microsoft or two, that was all it had. Means even though the state was having efficient administration and a PowerPoint friendly chief minister or a technology friendly chief minister, except for one Microsoft or another some company, barring an old Microsoft, means except for this Microsoft or two. So odd Microsoft or two means one or two companies like Microsoft. So except for one or two companies like Microsoft, there were no other technology companies in Hyderabad. So the introductory sentence is setting the tone of what was the situation of Hyderabad previously or at present. It Administration is very good. Chief Minister is technology friendly. Still, it had only one or two technology companies in Hyderabad. So this is the meaning. And the last sentence is talking about and Dell's ITS and operations which to start in either high-tech city, and other big names are also there. So it is talking about how a lot of companies are already engaged in coming to Hyderabad. So the transformation, the process of transformation of to Hyderabad into IT city, that is being given here. Now, how to arrange the sentences? So, which will be the next sentence? First, we talk about the Hyderabad not having enough technology companies. Now, what could be the next sentence? All other sentences are talking about development that is happening, but the first sentence should be this one. What is circa 2003? Circa means year 2003. So now in the year 2003, the city may finally be able to live up to the hype, means the impression or the image that was built around it. So from the first sentence, we know that Hyderabad has a very technology friendly image. Even then, there are no large number of technology companies coming in Hyderabad. So that is going to change in the year 2003. The city may be able to live up to the hype that is built around it. So this is very clearly the first sentence. So B should be the first sentence. Then we have to talk about how the process of how the city is going to live up to the reputation or the hype that is built or the image that it has of a technology friendly city. So what can be the next sentence? Oracle, for instance. So here, for instance means for example. So it is talking about one example of something given. So maybe it is it may follow, but it is not really logical, because the word for instance means is acquiring 7.5 acres of land to build its large campus outside the US, and this campus is going to be bigger than the company's campus in Bangalore. So it will dwarf the company's campus, means it will make it small. So company already has a very big campus in Bangalore, but the proposed campus in Hyderabad is going to be bigger than that. That is the meaning. So this may be a good answer or a good sentence that can follow a there is talk of Boeing and Bombardier exploring options. This is talking about talk of Boeing means nothing yet finalized. Some talks are going on. It could be the next sentence, or it could be the option D. In January this year, Infosys opened. So this is talking about something that has already happened. So we are first saying that in 2003, all that this Hyderabad, all this image of Hyderabad being technology friendly, still not having enough IT companies, that is all going to change. And this is the better sentence because it talks about one thing that has already happened. Infosys opened a 30-acre facility of built up space in the city. So once we talk about the change that is happening, then we have to talk about something that has already happened, that is D. Then we have to talk about things that are going to happen. So you can say there is talk of Boeing and Bombardier exploring options of touching down in Hyderabad. Oracle and Dell are hitting the city soon, and Hyderabad has emerged as the favorite destination of IT enabled service companies. So it says that the Boeing and Bombardier are going to come, Oracle and Dell are also going to come, and Hyderabad is emerging as a favorite IT destination. So you can say BDC. Then we can talk about A. Why Oracle, for instance? For instance means we already are saying that Oracle and Dell are going to come to the city, and Hyderabad is becoming a favorite destination for IT enabled service companies, and Oracle is a IT enabled service company. So that is why Oracle, for example. For instance means for example. So the phrase for instance is giving us the cue or the hint that this sentence should follow the statement in C. So that is why BDCA, because first we talk about the city going to become a favorite destination for IT enabled service companies, and then we can say about, for example, Oracle, an IT enabled service company, has acquired a very big space in the Bangalore, Hyderabad, which is going to be bigger than its campus in Bangalore. So that we can say. And the final sentence, what is the final sentence? The Dell's ITES operation. So we are in C, we are talking about two IT enabled service companies, Oracle and Dell, hitting the city. Then we say Oracle, for example, has already acquired the space and Dell is going to acquire space in Hyderabad's IT city, high-tech city. So two IT-enabled service companies. First one that has already acquired the space. Then final sentence is Dell going to acquire the space in high-tech city, and there are other big names also, says the director of the software technology parks of India, displaying a reticence that is uncharacteristic of the city. What is this displaying a reticence? Reticence means a hesitation or an unwillingness to talk openly. So the displaying a reticence that is uncharacteristic of the city means normally the people of Hyderabad are very much open in talking. They talk very frankly and openly. But Vijay Kumar, the director of the technology parks, he is not willing to disclose all the things that are going to happen. So that is why there are some other big names. So he is not disclosing which are the other big companies which are going to come. So he is being reticent, means he is not very open in talking about the which are the other companies going to come. Maybe he has his own reasons for not disclosing which are the companies. So that is why the sentence is saying that displaying a reticence that is uncharacteristic. Uncharacteristic means not very typical of the people of the city. So the people of the city, by character or nature, they are very open and they will be discussing everything openly. But the director of the technology parks, he is not willing to disclose the other big names that are going to come. That is why the displaying the reticence, even though it is not important. This is, I am giving you the relevance of this so that you are able to understand the entire thing properly. So in any VARC question, whether it is RC, critical reasoning, para jumble, para summary, etc., it is very important to understand the entire passage without any ambiguity. That is why I'm giving you the reason for this one. So the sequence will be BDCA. So first we talk about Hyderabad not having enough IT companies. Then we talk about the change that is going to come in the year 2003, and in January itself, Infosys opened a facility. Then two IT-enabled service companies are the IT-enabled service companies are now taking Hyderabad as a favorite destination. One among them, Oracle, has already acquired space, and another one, Delhi, is acquiring the space soon. So this is how the entire passage becomes a logical passage if we go for this option BDCA. So option 3 would be the answer. For your benefit, I have given you the rearranged sequence. You can read the sentences and understand that the logic becomes very clear without any ambiguity or without any logical mismatches. You can read and understand. See, this oracle, for instance, is very important. So this is directly linked to this one, favorite destination for IT enabled service companies. So Oracle being an IT enabled service company, it is acquiring this much land, and Dell's. So then it is talking about Dell. So this is what you need to understand. So everything is connected somewhere. So here we are talking about Oracle and Dell hitting the city. Then we talk about Oracle acquiring the space. Then and Dell means that we are continuing the thought by talking about Dell. First we talk about Oracle, then you talk about Dell. So Dell's ITS operations will soon come to Hyderabad. This is how you connect the sentences. There might be some hints somewhere that will help you in arriving at the correct logical sequence. So I hope this is clear. Now we go to the next one. This is comparatively easy, so you should be able to tackle it without a problem. Here, all the sentences have to be rearranged. The question itself is rearrange the sentences given below to form a coherent paragraph. So the introductory sentence or the conclusion sentence is not given to you. So nothing is fixed. You have to rearrange the entire thing to form a logical paragraph. So by from the sentences, you can understand that the context is about some protest rally taken out by the people of Iraq 12 years or means after the 12th anniversary of the war. So 2003 onwards, there have been protests by Iraqis and they are criticizing USA and the United Nations for the economic sanctions against their country, which has affected them in a bad way. And this year, don't know which year we are talking about. Anyway, it is some year after 2003 because the protest started after the 12th anniversary. It is given in the statement D. So 2003 onwards, this kind of protest started. So this year's anniversary means we don't know. So some year, this anniversary, the students and the youth were protesting, and they were saying that it is because of the US we are not able to improve our lives, our thinking, and we also have a lot of dreams, but we are not able to realize those dreams. All those things are given here, all because of the economic sanctions by US led USA and other countries. This is the context. Now, this is very simple to unjumble because option A definitely it is not going to be a first sentence because of the pronoun they are particularly furious. So who are furious? From the sentence itself you can understand that they are furious means the students and the youth, because they are these people on the eve of this year's anniversary. It was the turn of the students and the youth to voice their protest. So the students and the youth are taking out a rally, protest rally, during the on the evening, or the eve means on the previous day evening of the anniversary. So the on the previous day evening of the anniversary, the youth and the students took out a protest rally and they are particularly furious. So EA will be a sentence pair. You can understand that. So what should be the first sentence? This cannot be the first sentence. B or C cannot be the first sentence because they contain quotes. They are given in inverted commas means it is talking about some opinions given by somebody. So they cannot be the first sentences. We have a very good first sentence which talks about the background of the event. It is talking about, it is giving you the background because it tells us why there are protests in Iraq over the US sanctions, because this protest started 1991. There was a war between Iraq and USA. So 12th anniversary means 2003. So from 2003 onwards, groups of Iraqis had expressed, so they were in the process of expressing their anger in government sanctioned protests. So government is supporting these protests. That is why government sanctioned protest means government is also favoring the protest by the people, and they are denouncing the UN inspectors. Denouncing means criticizing the United Nations inspectors or the US for planning war against them. So these people who are taking out protests against the US and the UN, they are criticizing the United Nations as well as the US, saying that they are planning war against Iraq. So this is definitely the first sentence. And then we talk about this year's anniversary. So this has been going on for a long time, and now we talk about the current year. We don't know which year it is, but anyway, in this year it was the turn of the students and the youth. So this year it was predominantly the students and the youth who took out the protest rally to give voice to their protest. And what they were saying, they were particularly furious because they believe the sanctions which they blame on another US led war have ruined their lives. So they are saying that the economic sanctions by USA, they have ruined the lives of the youth and students of Iraq. And out of B and C, which is the next sentence? See, both are talking about the opinions. So when we have two sentences which talk about opinions, you should first select the sentence where it is mentioned who is making that opinion. So this sentence is talking about that. It says that one young man is who attended the rally. He says that sanctions for economic, intellectual, scientific, and even sport. So this is the sentence which gives you the idea that one young man attending the rally is having this opinion. So DEAC. Then you can this is a continuation of his opinion because they stopped us from thinking and dreaming like others do. This sentence is only having phrases in inverted commas. Nothing else is there, means this is a pure opinion. So you can understand that this is a continuation of the opinion given by the young man. So this should come next. DEACB should be the sequence where D is the gives you the background, then E gives you the event that is happening this year, and then what is the mood of the people there. They are very furious because of the sanctions, and then the opinion by one young man. So CB. So DEACB will be the answer. This is a very simple and easy question. Normally, nowadays, these kind of simple or easy questions are not asked, but you should also be able to tackle the easy questions. In easy questions, the problem is sometimes there might be some tricks, so or traps which will lead you to a wrong answer, but here no tricks or traps are there. You can very easily spot that option 1 DACB is the answer. So I have given you the rearranged sentences. You can read those sentences and get the logical flow of the sentences. All right, go to the next one. Again, you have to do the complete rearrangement. No introductory sentence or concluding sentence is given. So the entire sequence has to be rearranged to form a logical passage. All right. So the context is what is the context here? Slightly difficult to understand, but by reading the sentences minutely, you can see that it is talking about the violence itself having some set rules or definitions. So violence is generally considered to be something where no rules apply. People indulge in violence without any rules or regulations, but the passage says that even in violence there are certain predefined rules, at least in theory. If not, it is applied in practice, there are certain rules, and that is why there is the question, or an Irishman's question is quoted. What is an Irishman's question? Whenever some, in olden days, whenever duels happen, duel means gunfights between people happen. Irishmen are generally considered to be people who are very eager to take part in any gunfight. So he will, when any gunfight between two people or two groups happen, this Irishman who is generally not involved, he is not having any interest in any of the sides, but he wants to take part in the fight. So he will first have a question: is this a private fight or anyone can join? Means whether I can join into the fight even though I'm not a party to the fight. Can I join in, because I have a lot of enthusiasm in having in indulging in a gunfight. So that is how this proverbial Irishman's question has emerged. So where a person is seeking permission to indulge in violence. If it is a private violence in which he should not be allowed to participate, he will not take part. So this is the meaning. And then it talks about the people who are trying to kill each other in a fight. They also will be very much shocked if they find that some outsider who is not having anything to do with the fight, he is accidentally killed. So that is why they also have certain rules or principles. Even when they are very much interested in killing each other or massacring each other, they will be very much shocked if any person who is not a party to the fight or who is not involved in the fight gets killed accidentally. So that is another idea. And it says that because of these kind of rules and regulations, persons are the outsiders have very little risk, because outsiders are generally it is taken care by the feuding factions or the people who are fighting with each other, not to harm the outsiders, because that idea you get from option D. So that is why the actual risk to outsiders is less, even though it is more than in society. So in higher than our societies, means the risk when an outsider is participating or trying to witness a fight, he still has some risk of getting injured, but that risk is lesser than the risk he has, higher than the risk that he has in society. So in a society, an outsider has got a higher risk, but in a private feud between two parties, he has got a higher amount of risk than in a society. That is the meaning. So then you can, another idea is the uncontrolled application of force is only when there are social superiors or social inferiors. Means in a society, when people who are superior in the society, when they apply force on people who are inferior, there these kind of rules and regulations generally do not apply. But even there are certain rules. Some rules are already there. So the author has a doubt whether any rules apply in case of application of violence by socially superior people on socially inferior people, but he believes that even in those cases there are certain rules. So these are the four ideas. Now how to arrange the sentences logically. So you can see that option or statement A is very clearly the opening statement, because it gives you the introduction to the concept. It says that situations in which violence occurs and the nature of violence tends to be clearly defined, at least in theory. So this is the introduction. It says that at least theoretically the violence and the conditions of violence are having certain clear definitions. And it is highlighted by this Irishman's question: is this a private fight or anyone can join in? So that is why the Irishman is asking the question: can I join in, or whether it is a private fight. So because there are certain rules in any fight, so while even in violence there are certain rules. So in order to highlight that, this question is given. So this is a very good opening sentence, because it gives you the background of the concept that is being discussed here. Then what should be the next sentence? The next sentence can be option D. However, binding the obligation to kill. However, compelling. Binding means compelling. So, however compelling is the obligation to kill, or the responsibility, or the urge to kill. So, when two groups or two individuals are fighting with each other, each person has a complete compulsion or urge to kill the other person. But even then, members of the feuding families, means the members of the disputing groups. Families means groups or people who are warring with each other, or families who are fighting with each other, engaged in mutual massacre. Massacre means killing each other. Will be genuinely appalled. What is appalled? Appalled means shocked. If by some mischance a bystander or outsider is killed. So mischance means by some misfortunes or mistake. So what it means that people who are fighting with each other, they will be very much shocked if a outsider or a bystander is killed by chance. So that is why, even though they are very much obliged to kill each other, the people who are warring with each other, they are engaged in mutual massacre. Massacre means they want to kill everybody on the other side. So even when they are very much compelled, or they have a very high compulsion or urge to kill members of the other party, they would still be very much shocked if a outsider or a bystander is accidentally killed in the process. Means it is continuing the idea that is given in the first sentence, that even in violence there are certain rules which should apply. So people who are bystanders or outsiders should not be killed. So that is why A is followed by D. Then because of this, what is happening, the actual risk to outsiders is calculable, means minimal. So because of these kind of precautions and because of these kind of rules that are available, even in the application of violence, outsiders, their risk is less, but it is still more than the risk they have in society. So outsiders in a society, they have more risk, but higher than, they have less risk, but when these outsiders, they are witnessing a fight, they have more risk. So outsiders who are in the societies, they have less risk, but outsiders who are witnessing a fight, they have risk, but that risk is still minimal because of the rules that apply in a fight. So ADB. Then we talk about C, probably the uncontrolled application of only uncontrolled application of force is when socially superiors apply the force on socially inferior. So after talking about these kind of disputes between two groups of people, where one group is or where there are certain rules that apply, and because of which the people who are fighting with each other, they will be really shocked when an outsider is killed, so they will take care not to kill an outsider, and as a result of which the outsider's risk is less. Even all these things are stated, but there is one instance where these kind of rules are not applicable, which is the when social superiors are applying force on social inferiors. But even such a case, there might be probably some rules. So he is talking about a general idea. So he's concluding the passage by talking about C, where he says that even in those cases where social superiors are applying force on social inferiors, there might not be any rules, but still there might be some rules. So this should be the sequence. And why we are keeping to the last? Because A, D and B are talking about outsiders, where a fight is going on, a person who is not involved in the fight is trying to get involved or trying to witness it. What happens? Because of the rules and regulations, the risk to him is calculable. So this sequence is talking about the outsider, whereas option C is not talking about outsider. Option C is a concluding sentence where it says that these kind of rules that are generally applicable when two groups of people are applying violence on each other, those rules are generally not applied when socially superiors inflict violence on social inferiors. But some rules should be there. So it is not talking anything about outsiders in the last sentence. That is why it should be coming to the last as a concluding sentence. That is why A, D, B, C will be the answer here, option 3. So not a very simple one, it is slightly difficult, but this question, kind of questions, even though some sentences are short, the idea will be complicated, but you have to read carefully, understand the flow of the logic, only then you will be able to get the correct sequence. So the sequence I have given here. So this, we are talking about this private fight or anyone can fight. This is followed by this one. So when there is a fight between two parties and one another person who is a bystander tries to join in, he has to ask whether it is a private fight or anyone can join. So then it is talking about that is why when people are fighting with each other, they are will be very much shocked if a bystander or an outsider is killed. So the sentence is sequence is followed, and because of which the actual risk to outsiders is very less. So this logic is flowed there. Then we talk about something that is where these rules are not applied, that instance, And here we are not talking about outsiders completely. There is no mention about outsiders here. It is only about a society where application of violence in society, but where rules are not really applied. So this is why C should be the last sentence. So A, D, B, C will be the sequence. I hope this is clear. So that's all for this video. I hope you have found some important techniques that you can understand and then apply in your practice, so that you get the correct sequence of sentences in Para Jumble questions. Hope you will be doing more and more exercises like this. Whenever you do your Para Jumble questions on your own, try to remember the rules and techniques that we have applied, so that your skill becomes very good. So we'll be coming back with more exercises on Para Jumbles. If you have found the video to be useful, please share, subscribe, and try to spread word, so that I can get more reach. That will motivate me to do better and more questions and more videos in future. Thank you. Bye bye.